Melissa, when was the last time you truly had a bachelorette weekend? Just like I'm having a bit of a bachelor weekend this weekend. My partner's staying with her father. I have the house to myself. When would be the last time that you considered you had like a bachelorette weekend where you just splurged on whatever it is that you wanted to do? I'm gonna watch 16 movies in one day. Here we go. Or I know you're not a video game player, but I've been playing video games all weekend.
It is both my blessing and my curse to have my entire adult life be a bachelorette weekend. I don't.
But like, there's a difference of like just kind of a normal weekend and then a bachelor weekend. There's this like idea of indulgence of like, oh, I'm gonna eat all the junk food because no one can tell me no, and you just spend the entire weekend splurging on junk food. Or, man, I haven't spent money on books in months, and then you just spend the whole weekend in like Barnes and Noble just buying 16 books, right?
When my roommate is here, it is like a slumber party. So I'd say I'm more indulgent when she's here because all she wants to do is order Domino's and live on the couch. I may be more practical when she's gone. The only way I behave differently when my roommate is here versus when she's not here is how scary the movie is I'm watching. When she's gone, that's my time to watch the weird stuff.
See, that's kind of what I'm getting at, though, because there's a lot of people, especially if they are in a relationship, who are like, hey, I like this one particular thing a lot, but my partner does not, or my roommate does not, or something like that. So when they're gone, that's what I can do. Like, let's watch all the scary stuff. Let's watch all the weird stuff, like you said. So, what was the last time you had that moment or that thought of like, oh, she's not here, I can do the weird stuff?
Football is back in season. So twice a week, she'll go out for like 3 or 4 hours a night for a long football practice. Mm-hmm. And last time she was gone, I watched Under the Skin. Do you know the film Under the Skin?
No, I don't.
This is a film directed by Jonathan Glazer. When we talked about the Oscar nominees, I said I watched everything, but I gave myself a pass on the Sad Holocaust movie. He's the director of Sad Holocaust movie, The Zone of Interest.
Okay.
So I didn't want to watch that, but I wanted to watch something else from that director, so I was familiar with his style, with his work.
Sure.
Under the Skin is a movie from, I don't know, maybe like 10 years ago, starring Scarlett Johansson as an alien entity who comes to Earth and takes the form of a sexy woman. Scarlett Johansson can't really do better.
So it's a biopic, right?
It's basically an extremely dark version of Men in Black 2.
Men in Black 2 for adults.
Truly for adults. So she drives around Scotland in a van, just asking guys for directions. And whenever she's asking the guys for directions, then she's always like, are you going this way? Do you want to go with me? Can I give you a ride? And then she takes them and they are consumed in a weird way.
Sure.
Like, I can't even say they've been eaten. I don't think that's what's happening, but they are consumed. They are ingested somehow. There's no teeth involved, but so she's so personable when she's talking to the guys, and then as soon as she's alone, she's just flat. Like, this is an entity with no emotions, who just knows acting like a human and having emotions or how I can get guys to consume.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, indeed. Well, hopefully that works for us here at our podcast too. We need some more listeners to consume. So welcome if this is your first time. If you did not know, this is the Whatnauts Captain's Log number 268. My name is Kyle Springer. I am joined by Melissa Wilkinson. Melissa, how are you?
I'm good. I feel truly haunted by the movie Under the Skin. I recommend it.
I bet it sounds haunting, especially with your not hesitancy to describe how they're consumed, but also like kind of confusion on like, I don't even know how to describe it.
There are images in this movie that I have never dreamt of.
Wild.
Really wild stuff happens in this movie visually. The plot is basically what I just told you. There's not many more things onto it than that. This is not a subplot movie. We don't have characters. We don't have dialogue hardly. There's large stretches of the movie where nobody says anything. But
interesting.
Atmosphere and imagery of this movie are truly otherworldly.
That's kind of cool, though. It's good.
Find it on Max.
Good fun. There you go.
Not fun.
Yeah, no fun at all. Football is no fun, sir. Let's see, Melissa, you had this on our doc last week, and I came across it on my own. Not having seen that you put this on our doc, but this whole thing with OK Soda, that it must have gone viral last week or something.
We need a stronger requirement for what makes something viral than just that you and I have both heard of it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, obviously it's bigger than that, but sometimes I just mean like you'll put stuff on there. I'm like, I don't know where you got this. You just somehow must have stumbled across a YouTube video or a podcast that had something about that. And this almost feels like one of those things, like you were watching some video for like lost media, but this is like a lost soda.
Yes. Well, I had already learned about this from somewhere years ago and hadn't thought about it in ages until the podcast Decoder Ring, which is a really wonderful, informative show about just odd cultural mysteries.
Yeah.
They did an episode the other week about OK Soda, Coca-Cola's attempt in the 90s at making a hip, too cool for school soda for Gen Xers.
Right. Yeah. I just pulled it up on screen so people can see a picture of what the cans looked like.
Like they had artists design the cans. They had hip artists, including the guy who did Ghost World. I just needed to make sure that you knew that the guy who did Ghost World also illustrated a discontinued soda can.
Well, I don't know if it was this article that I saw linked out or it was a link to the podcast or something. But yeah, like a week ago or so, I saw someone talking about this OK Soda. So when I like went to our list to go see what was on there, I was like, oh, OK Soda. Huh. Interesting. So I kind of skimmed through this article here to see what there was and what they were talking about. And yeah, it is just kind of a brief history / like look in the past of just like what was the zeitgeist at the time? What did people think of this soda? What did they like? What did they dislike? And it seems like it was just kind of a disaster.
They designed the soda as like how it would look, how it would be marketed, the audience they wanted it to reach. And the last step in the design process was, what does the soda taste like? And they're like, how do we make a soda that tastes ironic? So they tried to go for when you go to the soda fountain and you put everything in one cup. They're like, it's an everything soda. The soda you would make when you're goofing around with your friends.
Fuel.
We sell it to you now. Yes.
Yeah. I heard I think someone on there describe it as it was a traditional dark cola, but had a lemon lime flavor, so it was just like half Coke, half Sprite, which is strange.
That's what you do.
Yeah, but then I mean it's also not that strange because they've had like Coca-Cola lime. They had that whole like you put the lime in the coconut, but they've also had like Coke with lemon. That's a thing that I've seen people do at restaurants and stuff like that. So it's not.
It
hasn't totally disappeared. in that
It
sense.
maybe also had everything else. We've got an orange. We've got the weird cherry mystery of a Dr. Pepper. There's iced tea in there. We can't taste an OK soda. We can go and try and make one for ourselves.
Yeah.
There have to be people who are doing this at the Coke Freestyle machine where they get a mega cup and they put one of every variant of Coke Freestyle in there.
Though, to be honest, if
they call it a Coke Free Fall,
if I saw someone doing that, I'd be so mad. Because those Coke machines, those ones where you can do all the mix-ins and stuff, they are so slow. The buttons barely work because it's this like touch screen behind like 3 inches of protective glass that just it barely works. The whole thing is just a mess. It's sticky because people have their like food fingers touching it. It's so bad. And if they had to take the time to be like, okay, I want a little bit of this one. All right, stop. Let me go back. Let me mix in this one and all right, let me go back and mix it. I'm just like, oh my God, what are you doing? It'd be an awful experience.
I'd cheer them on. Like if I saw this in the lobby of a movie theater, I'd still go into my movie, but I'd give that person my number. Like, text me when you're done. I have to know the outcome of this. I don't think you'll still be here when I'm done watching Love Lies Bleeding or whatever.
You'd be the Emperor Palpatine of sodas. Do it. Add another one. Do it.
Yeah, I am the Emperor Palpatine for other people's nonsense hijinks. I'm not doing it myself, but I am in their corner. I'd like to be their advisor for their hijinks.
Yeah. A hijinks advisor. Good stuff.
Dan Clowes, the name of the Ghost World guy. Wanted to make sure I said that. Thank you, Dan Clowes. I can't wait for the soda can that comes with Jeff Lemire's melancholy Canadian musings on it.
Right, yeah. That'd be good. So one of the things I found in this article was this paragraph a bit of the ways down that reads like this. Coke always played with the trope of ads associating consumerism with happiness. It highlighted coincidences that befell OK soda drinkers. I started drinking OK 2 days after my boyfriend and I broke up. And ever since I started drinking it, bad things happened to him, one caller said. He even broke his leg. That's pretty good.
This is Magnolia, the beverage. The movie Magnolia, which is about a group of disparate people in Southern California whose lives are united by coincidence. It's if you drank that movie.
Oh man, yeah. I just thought it was strange that it both somehow happened on our radars. So,
speaking to talk about a more recent.
Go ahead.
While we're on the topic of food promotion oddities, this is one from the past, which I'd like us to do more often. Look into food and beverage marketing mishaps of yesteryear. But McDonald's is doing that promotion now where they have transformed into WcDonalds, the anime version. After so many anime that show you an off-brand McDonald's with the M flipped around, so it's WcDonalds. We've come such a long way since like 20 or 15 years ago, even when I had to explain to people what an anime was. And now McDonald's just is an anime. And they've got a meal. They always do the same meal. I would
kind of watch that McDonald's, the anime. I think I'd be about that.
We want the devil as a part-timer minus the devil. Just a grounded slice of life anime about the McDonald's or about the KFC. All sorts of Japanese food chains.
It has to switch between like very normal, serious slice of life, and then it has to go like full Death Note of like, and then I will eat a chip, right? As he like, and then I will put the burger on the patty, on the bun.
It's a normal slice of life anime, but Grimace is just there.
Yeah.
They have a promotional meal that is the same promotional meal they always have, which is a 10-piece nuggets meal and one new sauce. And the sauce is always spicy.
Spicy sauce.
I love
good spicy sauce.
I'm not a spicy sauce person. I can't interact with this. I can only look at it from afar. I can't participate.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I like that McDonald's is trying these weird specialty crossover promotions where it's like some celebrity's favorite order, or it's a tie-in with BTS, something that specific, or just anime the entire concept. No specific anime, just all of Japanese animation we're promoting here. It's always, we have put together a bespoke meal of existing things that you've probably already ordered yourself in this configuration. There's one new sauce. The sauce is too spicy. I need something fresh besides just the box that they put it in. Really give me a new burger. Give me something new about the McNuggets. Give me a new shape. Give me, like, is there seasoning on them?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes
I want more.
They do the spicy nuggets. They could also come up with other flavors of nuggets themselves.
I want a colored nugget.
Oh, the St.
I want Shamrock Nugget.
Shamrock Shake combo. Green shake, green nuggets. I need that.
Yes.
That'd be interesting. I could see that also going very wrong somehow as we just speak about marketing mishaps of yesteryear. And be like, man, remember those green nuggets they used to have?
I want to go back to the era of weird fries. Do you remember when Ore-Ida, or whatever the frozen fry brand was like, we've got fries in weird shapes. This one's a ring. This one's like I know they had curly fries. Those already existed in nature. Yeah. They would be colored. Here's a blue fry, or this fry is chocolate. And then this happened parallel to the funny colored ketchups. You could really fuck up your ketchup and fries for dinner in the early 2000s. And now you can't anymore, at home or in a restaurant.
I don't know, because I do remember the funky colored ketchups. That always caught my eye. I don't remember the fries being different colored as well. That just like skated right past me then.
Your loss. Yeah, we had him at my 11th birthday party. We didn't want to eat him. We just stood in the driveway and threw frozen fries at each other.
I miss being young. For your 11th birthday?
We did other things.
Your next bachelorette weekend, you need to get colored French fries, get a bunch of your friends, and have a frozen French fry fight.
Great for children. I think the fun does expire once you are older.
I don't think so. Go do it anyways. Get arrested. Who cares?
No. I gotta be here. I gotta be here to talk about how Venom 3 has now been subtitled The Last Dance.
Yes. Yeah. Do you want me to jump over to our pop culture?
Let's do it. We got a number of different things here.
Yeah. Quite an extensive list of pop culture stuff that is making it onto the show this week. We'll circle back around to some of these, but let me at least get through this whole list here. So yes, like you said, Venom 3, The Last Dance, coming out October 25th, 2025. DC Comics is supposedly working on a Teen Titans live action movie with Anna Noguera. I believe that's how you say her name. I'm not sure. she's the one writing these scripts. She's also working on Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
The Batman 2 has been delayed into 2026.
That's a long time.
It is. Wendell Pierce has been cast as Perry White in James Gunn's Superman. I think that's great casting. I like that one. Patty Jenkins is supposedly back to working on her Star Wars Rogue Squadron movie. I'll believe it when I see it.
I did you listen to the podcast where she talked about this?
I did not. No.
There is a podcast put out by TCM called Talking Pictures, where TCM host Ben Mankiewicz interviews various directors. And he talked to her this past week or two ago. It is a really fascinating interview. And
cool.
She says she dropped out of Rogue Squadron to work on Wonder Woman 3. And then when Wonder Woman 3 was not moving forward, she circled back to Rogue Squadron. But then that came up against the writer's strike wall. So she really wasn't able to work on it or do anything with it until recently.
I gotcha. So yeah, it's just kind of a victim of circumstances, it sounds like.
Yeah, and maybe we haven't, like, it was never officially canceled, but we also have not heard any updates on it in a long time. Right. Maybe just because there's not anything very concrete to share yet.
Yeah, that makes sense. But at least that there is like a sign of life here that like, hey, back to working on this thing. It was Agatha all along. The title has changed once again for the Agatha show that Marvel is going to be making, and it's just Agatha. That's it.
Not even Agatha. Not even Agatha all along.
No, just Agatha. It's weird.
I get the joke, but this is a long walk to take for naming the show in the exact same format in which you name every other show. Every show is just titled Name of Protagonist.
It's so uncreative. It's so I feel like in a world and internet driven by SEO, just having it be someone's name and that's it is terrible SEO.
I don't know. I can't speak to that. Maybe it's just easy brand identity.
Yeah, it's not like you cards, have to remember Harley Quinn and the fantabulous emancipation of who knows what. It's just bam, Agatha.
Those cards flip by you so fast when you're on a streaming service. Maybe they're like, we refuse to slow down the cards, but we also don't trust that people will go back and read a previous card.
Read it, yeah.
So let's make this as few words as possible. It is only Agatha.
The Bear has been supposedly quietly renewed for season 4. Season 3, I believe, is filming either now or is just about to start and will be out in the summer. But it is reportedly filming back to back with season 3. I'm wondering if that is to make sure production schedules don't interfere with Fantastic Four.
Right.
Who knows? But yeah, and then in the world of video games, Summer Game Fest is happening June 7th at around 2 p.m. Pacific time, so save the date for that stuff. And then, last but not least, on a bit of a sad note, rest in peace, Akira Toriyama, the creator of the Dragon Ball franchise. If you are a video game fan, you might also know him from Dragon Quest or Chrono Trigger. He did a lot of the artwork on that stuff. I know on our own podcast, the review show, we haven't really discussed any of his manga or stuff like that, but something that was very much influenced by his work. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. Oh. He is the one that drew the original slime for Dragon Quest. So rest in peace to Akira Toriyama. Mm-hmm. Melissa, I just want to 3, The Last Dance.
Yes, thank you for circling around, because I was going to say that truly was a lightning round. You went through all those very quickly. All I want to say is I love the wild swings of the Venom franchise. I don't know why this last movie is called The Last Dance, especially following on the heels of Magic Mike's Last Dance.
Yeah.
Another important beefcake franchise. One of the best beefcake trilogies of the 21st century. Both Magic Mike and Venom. I look forward to it. I love how weird these Venom movies are.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like that subtitle is also, it's not ringing any bells in terms of like comic book Easter eggs or stories they could be pulling from here. It's like, oh, they're doing this story or something where him and the lizard go on a date in Paris or something. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what this means. Will there be a literal dance number in this? Will we get to see Tom
absolutely.
Hardy
yes, 10 out of 10.
Venom dance. That's what I want to know.
Both of them, they'll dance with each other.
How much do you want to bet there will be an Easter egg to The Mask? And that kind of like wacky dance number. What's the over-under on that?
Tom Hardy's The Mask sounds so deeply unhinged, it has never even seen a door. It doesn't know what a door is.
I don't know, man. Like I liked the first Venom. Okay, it wasn't good, but it like I think it's the best one of the two. Venom 2, I thought was just terrible. I thought that was so bad. I liked that one a lot less than I liked Morbius. I liked Morbius better than Venom 2.
I saw Venom 2 at the drive-in, and I had a great time, but I do wonder in hindsight if just being in a drive-in bumps it up a couple points. Yeah.
Versus the actual film. Yeah. I don't know, man. Who knows? October. So yeah, I guess later this year we got Craven, and then end of next year Venom 3. Interesting. We shall see. And the one thing I did hear about the plot is that it's somehow being tied in to the end credits scene in Spider-Man Far From Home, No Way Home. Which one is it? I don't know.
No Way
That
Home.
one. No Way Home. Thank you. Teen Titans live action. I'm excited about this one. I say it's about damn time. For years, I have been saying that the way DC should have done their whole connected universe is start with the Teen Titans movie instead of a Marvel, like we'll do all these individual heroes and then it leads up to the main big team. I was like, they could do the opposite. They could just jump straight to their Justice League style movie, but don't do the Justice League. Do the Teen Titans, because there's the nostalgia for the old show that I think would be great. And also shortly after that, they made the live action show, which was also fantastic. So I'm excited for that one. But yeah, that one still seems like it's a ways off. That one's just like, hey, it's in the works. Thumbs up. That's all we know. So yeah. Well, with that, I say we take a quick break for some housekeeping. When we come back, Melissa, we should discuss who the hottest M&Ms are.
Yes, thank you for participating in this with me.
Maybe some Oscar highlights if you have any of those.
But M&Ms first, and then we talk
M&Ms
about
important. Who's the hottest M&Ms? We'll be right back. Thank you so much for checking out this podcast. We hope you're enjoying it. If you didn't know, we make multiple different shows here at the Whatnauts, and a lot of hard work goes into making them, so we would love it if you check them all out. But none of this is possible without your support. Head over to patreon.com/thewhatnauts and you can get access to over 40 hours of exclusive content, including our Patreon first podcast, The Pilots Club, when you sign up at our $3 tier. Of course, there is a free version of the Pilots Club available, but episodes are exclusive to our Patreon for 2 years before they hit the free feeds. If you're interested in buying merch, we have shirts, hoodies, mugs, and more for sale over at thewhatnauts.com/store. Another great way to help us out is by subscribing and leaving a nice rating and review on your podcasting app of choice. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel for video versions of the show, trailer reactions, and live streams. And lastly, you can always find out more information about the shows we make on our website, thewhatnauts.com. All right, we are back. Once again, a big shout out to all of our Patreon supporters. We love you a lot. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
It means a lot. Thank you indeed. Let's see. Speaking of Patreon and all that good stuff, the Pilots Club for this month, Melissa, you and I got to talk about Welcome to Eltingville, which was a pilot that aired on Cartoon Network a long time ago, early
Adult Swim.
Yes, Adult Swim, early 2000s, about a group of nerds, comic book nerds, and them arguing over a Boba Fett action figure, among other things there. It was an interesting one to talk about for sure, so be on the lookout for that. That's already up there. For the free version of the Pilots Club this month, got to talk about Doom Patrol, the first episode of that is out publicly wherever you get your podcasts. So go check out the Pilots Club over there. Right here on the Captain's Log, this past episode, Melissa reintroduced the Wet Awards, ranking all of the Best Picture it was the Best Picture nominees, or just like your top 10 favorite ones from the.
It is the 10 Best Picture nominees.
I thought so.
Ranked on a scale not of quality but of humidity, from wettest to driest.
Indeed.
There's got to be more ways for us to talk about movies besides best and good.
We're definitely trail blazing here at the Captain's Log. We also got to talk about Drive-Away Dolls. If you guys have seen that movie, sounds like we had a grand old time with that one. Yeah. Over on the review show, Ignacio got to join us, and we got to talk about Weathering with You, Makoto Shinkai's 2019 film. It's an anime. We had a great time with that one. There's some fun things to talk about in the with that one. I did not know that a couple of his movies are like loosely connected, which is interesting. So good stuff indeed. But yeah, that I think is about it right now for housekeeping. So go check out all of that stuff. But Melissa, we had this on our list last time and we didn't really get to it. Talk to me about these M&Ms. These hot, sexy M&Ms.
We speak of the Lady M&Ms as objects of desire. I feel like that's known. Nobody would be surprised if you said to them, "You know the sexy green lady M&M?" They'd all say yes. They wouldn't say, "No, I don't know what you're talking about." Sexy how? I'm not here to interrogate that. I'm just here because I realized we never speak of the male M&Ms in this way. They're just sort of one amalgamated bunch. There's two types of M&Ms, sexy and not sexy. I just wanted to shine a light on them and ask, let's say there's a Bachelor auction for charity. To save the M&M's factory. Yes, you can bid on a date night, a single date night with any of the male M&Ms. You've got blue, red, yellow, and orange. Who do you pick?
Blue, red, yellow, and orange. I don't remember Blue's personality.
Okay, there's a really great set of character bios on the M&M's website.
Is there?
Where you can learn about all of them. To speak of the female M&Ms for a second, we've got sort of
here we go.
A classic hot girl green, chic, sophisticated, professional brown, and there's a new one, purple, and purple's this sort of cute disaster girl. Whoops, I dropped it sort of girl.
Disaster buy. There you go.
It could very well be. She is purple. They all seem like nice ladies. Everybody's got a little questionnaire on their bio, and some of them are surprisingly funny. But the one for green is just very sincere. I'm happy to be where I am and support my fellow women. Green doesn't get to have any jokes. And then for our men, red and yellow, we all know. Doofus yellow, wisecracking red, nervous orange, and then chill hipster guy blue.
I gotcha. So yeah, I'm on their website right now. I'm showing it for people who are watching the video version of this. They have all the characters listed, but you can like go in and read their bios. So I do the meet red.
I want to read some of the bio.
Go ahead.
Go ahead and read about red. Start with red.
I was gonna say, do you enjoy your celebrity status? And he says, does a fish enjoy water, or a lion enjoy lioning? What's your best quality? It says charisma and smarts. What's your worst quality? He says, I'm a perfectionist. Favorite meme of all time? I've been in a lot of memes. It's hard to pick my favorite.
Which puzzles me, because I can't think of any outstanding notable M&M's memes, but maybe I just haven't been on the internet enough.
I for like the quote from one of their commercials, the like action movie commercial that used to play in front of I have a quote from that just in my head rent free all the time. It's like, here's your mission. He goes, no, that's an envelope.
The work of, I don't know all their actors, but
and
as
yellow. It's yellow that says it. I'm the yellow M&M.
You're yellow. You're Academy Award winner J.K. Simmons as yellow M&M.
No, that's an envelope.
An impression anyone can do.
Yeah,
a basic starter impression, yellow M&M. The red M&M's bio, I enjoy him as a character. I feel like if I were at the Bachelor auction, I would bid most on red. I like the energy of a tiny, wisecracking little smart aleck guy. His jokes they write in his bio aren't quite as successful, but I really laughed at orange. Nervous orange.
Go to orange, meet orange. Here we go. I find
favorite
your lack of concern extremely concerning.
Favorite way to unwind? I don't understand the question. Favorite knock-knock joke? An unexpected knock on the door is nothing to joke about.
I can't leave the house without panicking.
Some of these are very funny. I can't pick orange because I am an orange. We just get in a feedback loop with each other.
Oh, man. Related products. Everything is all yellow. They just have their own little thing here. I don't know. Weird. Okay.
Right. Only red and green get their own specific merchandise on the M&M's website. It looks like. Okay. Well, you can get those in any color. That's just the example they're showing is red and yellow. But you could get a adult M&M's character T-shirt in any of these personalities. It seems like.
Yeah.
Show up to a job interview in your Ms. Brown M&M's shirt. They refer to her as Ms. She's the only one to get a title. She's so far above the other M&Ms. She has no time for them. Her questionnaire is only 2 questions, which is much shorter than everybody else's. And I think that's a great move. I think that's very funny. Not that they underwrote her bio, but that this character would refuse to answer any more questions.
Just NA, not applicable. I'm looking at the blue one right now. His quote is, "I woke up like this." Says, if you could meet anyone in the world, dead or alive, who would it be and what would you say to them? I'd rather meet people who are alive. With dead people, you really have to carry the conversation.
Some of these are good.
What were your dreams as a child? My dream was just to be happy. So it's a delicious irony that I'm always blue. But do you suffer from sleepwalking? I'm not big on multitasking, so when I sleep, I sleep.
That's a weird question for a questionnaire. Right, I can tell they wrote backwards from that. I don't accept that one.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of despite the like weird question that this last one is, I think I would go for blue.
Interesting. Blue's my least favorite.
He's just a little sad boy.
He isn't though. He is not. He's not sad. He's just no. I think he's just like the energy of Blue is all of these characters feel like they're from 10 or 15 years ago. These feel very millennial. They all have, it's like all these jokes were written when we were in college. He just seems like this sort of too cool for school hipster guy.
I think that's why I like him.
Okay, you'll take blue. I'll take red. Yeah. If I were to rank the M&Ms in hotness, let's see. Brown, definitely the hottest because she refuses to interact with you. She's hot in that regard. Green isn't funny enough. Which I feel bad saying about another woman, but they like what? She's too sincere.
Wow, Melissa, what a bitch.
I know that's like her personality now.
Her quote is, I'm too busy shining to throw shade.
What's your best quality? Being a hype woman for my friends. She's just devoid of jokes. She's just nice, supportive friend. Which hidden isn't talents, bad.
Unfortunately, being inexplicably lifelike is all I have to work with. I guess.
Inexplicably lifelike.
Any past transgressions that still haunt you?
Transgressions
haunts me. My motto is live and learn and move on.
This is a woman who has not seen Under the Skin.
Right, yeah.
Yellow. We haven't spoken of Yellow. Yellow is just like your big.
I'm Yellow.
Right, he's like too childish for me to feel like I can put him anywhere on this spectrum. Do I want to go on a date with Yellow? No.
I feel like he's Kevin from The Office.
Oh, very much. He's very much Kevin.
Let's see what his my favorite thing about today is everything. All of these quotes are just like looping in on themselves. These little quotes like my only concern is your lack of I find your lack of concern concerning or whatever. Instinctively, I know I have good instincts. What?
They're all the same format of joke. Yeah, each individual one is a knot. It's an Ouroboros of itself. They all have that same format.
Let's read Yellow's here because there is one thing in here that I like. What would be the first thing you would do if today was your last day? Well, I guess the first thing I would do is wake up. So dumb.
He speaks the truth. He speaks the truth.
Any pet peeves? Well, I have a pet fish and a pet rock. No peeves, though. Are they hypoallergenic?
If you could pick any other career besides being a spokes candy, what would it be? Ghost Rider. I love scary stories.
Yeah. Favorite color. I know this is probably obvious, but aquamarine.
Yellow does make me laugh. I'd like if Yellow was the MC of the Bachelor auction and we're not actually bidding on him.
Yeah. That's so funny.
These guys are interesting. I like taking an unnecessarily close look at them. They all have different shoes. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
There was some hubbub about how Green doesn't have heels anymore. Now she has sneakers. But to be fair, we are living in a sneaker era. Hot girls do wear sneakers now. That's true. Yeah. The ladies have different. Okay. Most of the characters have got the same like white Mickey Mouse gloves. Green has like a little button tab on hers. And Brown has like a full like cuff and cufflinks. She's wearing business formal.
The bunch. Yeah. She is the one still in heels.
She's wearing glasses. She's extremely tall. She has all of these attributes that no other M&M has. She is their boss. She is above them, literally and figuratively.
Has the Doc Martens on, the all white Doc Martens.
Cute. Well, they're all white shoes. I don't think that's her specific style choice. They just all must live that way. Some of them have slightly different legs. Most of them have got like white legs, but a couple of these are like a very vague tan. Lavender's got like weird gray purple. Purple's got like weird gray lavender legs. These don't matter. We don't gotta talk about M&M legs here.
Which M&M has the hottest legs?
When I clicked on this landing page on the M&M's website, it shows all of their characters and it says, you don't have to twist their arm to have some fun. And I'm like, I don't know what that means in this context. They have arms. Why is that phrase here specifically? Is there like some old M&M's dispenser that I don't remember where you'd pull their arm and they'd spit M&M's out?
Actually, I think there was.
I want to look at M&M's dispensers.
Like
and M&M's dispensaries.
Let's see, like toy M&M. That's 7. M&M dispenser. I don't know why, but like now that you mention it, I had there's like vintage 1991. I'm seeing it here on eBay. I typed in M&M toy dispenser.
Yes.
And there's one of Yellow, and he has his arm up, and it looks like the arm would go up and down.
Oh, the one where he's a little couch potato. I think I remember.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Imagine.
Well, there you go. We have solved the mystery of the hottest M&Ms.
A mystery brought up only by me. I feel like I said, we all know that fact. There's like one culturally known thing about the M&Ms, which was the hot girls, which we haven't necessarily disproven. But I'm like, let's look closer. What else is here? What other? I really want to. We know Red and Yellow's dynamic. Green spoke about how she is a hype woman for her friends, but I'd love to know the rest of the character dynamics going on within this group. Like what do Purple and Orange have going on?
I do wish they had more M&M commercials, and it was kind of a grab bag as to like which one you would get before a movie.
Oh yeah,
because the theater I go to just plays the same commercials over and over and over and over. So I have seen that M&M commercial where they're like, "Hey, should we invite Jock?" And he, Jock is in the mime sitting at his desk. I hate that commercial. Don't invite Jock. Jock can fuck off.
I grew up with sympathy for mimes because nobody ever showed them any. That was the joke when we were kids, was everybody hated mimes. And I'm like, I don't know what the problem with mimes is.
That's the thing. I don't have a problem with mimes. I just think in an office setting, what is he doing there? He doesn't even have a computer.
That's the boss's
doing
nephew.
Anything. Yeah. So like I would respect him more if he was out on the corner working for a dime, doing his mime thing out there, because that's what a mime is supposed to
mime
actually
for a dime.
Do, not file TPS reports.
Mimes aren't allowed to be inside. That's an outdoor pet.
Well, they can't do their whole wind thing if they're inside. That's why it makes no sense. It's like, Jock, you're in an office. What are you doing? Come on,
Animaniacs had a lot of anti-mime jokes. I feel like that was a cultural joke when we were young. Yes.
Interesting.
People always made fun of mimes. And that went the opposite way. I don't know if it was supposed to breed hatred in me for mime kind, but I was like, they seem all right. I'm pro mime. I'd love to see them.
Fascinated by those people who do the like living statue stuff. Like,
yeah.
I guess that's not miming technically, but it's still kind of in the same ballpark.
Yes. They're in the same union, the same guild.
Good stuff. Melissa, the Oscars happened last weekend.
They did. Did you watch?
I did not.
Your
watch
loss.
Them. My loss indeed. Did you have any kind of the highlights that you wanted to pull out, mention, shout outs for all that?
The performance of I'm Just Ken is really worth looking up. That's good fun. They had the sing-along like projected on the screens.
Good.
I really need a report on who sang along in the audience. Is Jonathan Glazer singing along? Tell me everything. That's worth seeing. The performance of the song from Killers of the Flower Moon also looked very good. It was a well-produced show. Instead of showing clips for all the acting nominees, they had previous winners in that category come out. So like, here's 5 previous Best Supporting Actress winners here to each give a little speech about one of this year's nominees.
Okay.
And some of them are very sweet. I liked that. I like getting to see these folks and up the star power. I hope they continue with that. Godzilla -1 did win Best Visual Effects.
I saw that.
That team was so excited. And they all came up with Godzilla figurines in hand, and the director's was painted gold like an Oscar.
Did you see their shoes?
I don't think I caught those in the broadcast.
They all had heels on, and the heel was Godzilla's hand. It was like gripping their heel, and yeah, they all had Godzilla shoes on.
They had the best energy the whole night. If I was there, I would want to party with the Godzilla team. And The Boy and the Heron did win Best Animated Feature.
I saw
Miyazaki,
that too.
of course, was not there.
Yeah, he's sitting there like, oh, I have to go get an award.
I don't want to do that. All I want to do is smoke and look at planes.
I just want to be surrounded by my plants. Yeah. Good for him though. I think he deserved it. So
I gotta look into Oscars history because Best Picture winner Oppenheimer. Florence Pugh has a small role in that, and Florence Pugh is also one of the voices in the dubbed version of The Boy and the Heron. So I'm curious if there have been other years where an actor is in both the Best Picture and Best Animated Picture.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I saw Robert Downey Jr. got Best Supporting Actor, which was pretty cool. I don't know if I really heard much else besides the ones you mentioned, like, oh, this got Best Picture, this got Best Animated. What won Best Script or Best Screenplay or whatever it was?
Best Original Screenplay went to Anatomy of a Fall. Best Adapted Screenplay was American Fiction.
Gotcha. Okay. Still haven't seen either of those. I know Anatomy of a Fall, I think, is coming to Hulu at the end of the month.
Yeah. I think you'd really like that one. There's a dog in that movie, and the dog was at the Oscars. They kept cutting to the dog.
I saw that, and the dog was clapping, except that I then saw the picture of the guy who was like laying on the floor underneath the seat, who had like fake dog arms that were just like that. Yeah, so dumb. So yeah, good stuff with all of that. Good stuff.
I did my ballot. I got 19 guesses correct out of 23.
Oh, that's good. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And my movie fantasy league is over now. I came in 801st place out of like 7,000 people who were playing in that fantasy league.
Wow. In the
Let's hope I can beat myself
top
next
1,000. Yeah. But that'll be neat to like keep track of year over year how well you do. That'll be fun. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. So you have this here. Speaking of lists and brackets, types of games we've never played. We do all sorts of like ranking games and fun little taste test episodes and stuff like that, and our Rotten Tomato movie prediction scores. I know I've asked you in the past if you ever get caught up in the like March Madness stuff, which I know you're not a sports girl really.
No.
So
no.
But brackets is always kind of an interesting, fun thing to do sometimes. Like, what is a bracket we could do?
The one bracket I am involved in is every year Blank Check does a bracket for the next director they're going to cover on their podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It's time. Every day at 10 o'clock it goes live. I still got to vote in the one for today. So there's a huge bracket of directors. Every year is a different theme. Like last year it was all international directors. This year it's they've been doing it for like 7 years. So it's New Blood is the name of this year, because it's all directors that have never been on the bracket before.
Okay.
I'm going hard for Frank Oz and Jim Henson. I'd really love to hear him talk about that. We're going to see.
Yeah.
Last year with the international bracket, it came down to Park Chan-wook versus Bong Joon-ho, and Park Chan-wook won by a single vote.
Oh,
it was a photo finish. It was incredible to watch.
That's awesome.
So every day without fail, I check in on the Blank Check bracket, and that's the one I care about.
Okay. That's kind of cool. I like that idea that they do the bracket to then kind of decide like who they're going to do, or decide an order of things that they will do. Like, we'll do this first and then this next and stuff like that.
Every bracket winner gets covered. Not immediately afterwards, but I think typically around like the end of summer, like September, it's like, now it's time for March's bracket winner. And maybe the results will tell them, okay, there is an interest in us covering this person. We'll slot them in somewhere where they fit. You don't have to win a bracket to be covered. This is just something they do once a year.
Yeah.
But it's very fun.
I'm always on the lookout for like, what are some interesting podcast games or bits that other shows do that we could steal for our own and make it our own version. That seems like an interesting one. I'm wondering if we can incorporate that somehow.
Oh, Doughboys also does a bracket every year. They do Munch Madness.
Doughboys.
This year it's Doughboys. Doughboys is two like LA comedy writers who review chain restaurants every week. They've been doing this for years, and they'll rate every restaurant on a fork scale. Like that was okay. I'd give that 3 forks and 2 tines. And I think if you get like 4 forks across the board, you're in the Golden Plate Club. And if you get 5 forks, you're in the Platinum Plate Club. And they'll revisit places and update their rankings. And they've got all these dumb games.
That's cool.
Everything is a pun. Nothing has a normal title. Okay, so right now they are doing a Munch Madness bracket of Taco Bell items. One Taco Bell item will be the one to win at the end of the series. Okay. Let me read you the full name. Hold on. One sec. I have to like click on it and play it to bring up the full ad, the full like podcast thumbnail art. Doughboys, for whom the bell does. Munch Madness 2024. The Tournament of Champions 9. Dokiro Talk. Oh Bell. Every year they have upon that long. They don't stop. Every idea goes into the pot. It's so maximalist.
That's great. There's a bit that I've always wanted to do and incorporate into this podcast, but it's just it's a lot of work for like 10 seconds of a joke. But I loved it. There was a comic book podcast that I used to listen to where every episode they would start with like in the week where, and then they name some kind of event that happened. So like in the week where the Boy and the Heron won best animated picture, we ask, and then it'd be some kind of comic book related thing here. Like, when is Lex Luthor's animated film gonna be, something like that.
Yeah.
It would be some joke, and they would nail it every time of just like, that's actually really clever. That's really funny. And I like that structure that like we could say, hey, in the week when this thing happened, we ask, and then some other like dumb, fictional, like, we ask when the Dune popcorn bucket things will be the next big Halloween costume. I don't know. Like, but they would make these jokes that made sense, that were clever, that were just like, oh, spot on. Like, this was good.
There's a lot of movie podcasts I listen to that do really great themed openings like that.
Yeah.
One podcast bit I love is on Jordan Jesse Go. They introduce themselves saying, "Hi, I'm Jesse Thorne, America's radio sweetheart, and I'm Jordan Morris, boy detective." And then whoever their their guest is for that episode has to come up with their own nickname. Hi, I'm Eliza Skinner, Clankety Car. I love the idea of just a bunch of nicknames. I wish we got to do that when we signed on for each episode.
Mine would always be the local Gundam expert.
Local Gundam expert.
Like if I was on my bucket list thing that will never happen is to be on the local news. They interview me for something, and then my like social media lower third Chiron thing says Kyle Springer, local Gundam expert.
you maybe you could do that. You could get local podcaster. I don't know how big the podcast scene
I could
is
get
in
local
podcaster.
Who
can't?
Local comic book nerd. Something like that.
Local B-boy.
Local retired B-boy.
You're gonna go to the geriatric boogaloo home for retired B-boys and B-girls. Home for retired B-folks.
Oh man. Melissa, you also have this do you want to talk about this book here, or our cinema corners to
either one can come next. I do have the book physically in my hand already.
Oh yeah, well then
I forgot to mention this the other week.
Talk about that.
I picked up the nonfiction book MCU: The Reign of Marvel Studios by Joanna Robinson, Dave Gonzalez, and Gavin Edwards. This is a look into the history of how the MCU was forged.
Interesting.
It's
how it sounds like you're about to say very in depth and well written and stuff, but like, does it start on the production of Iron Man, or does it go before that, where it's like, here's what happened in the 90s to even like
yes it starts with like
situation. Okay,
It starts with like Marvel's bankruptcy and Toy Biz deals and selling the rights to all these different companies. It takes a couple chapters before you even meet Kevin Feige.
There you go. Okay, good. That was like my like it. Now is this just like the lighthearted? Here's a behind the scenes MCU stars. It's like here's the history of the MCU.
Yeah, it's the history of it. They talk to so many different people, like actors, physical trainers. They talk to some like UCLA scientists just to, like, for a couple paragraphs about the science of like physical training. They talk to the graphic designer who designed the 10 Rings logo that's on the flag in the background of Iron Man. They get really granular with it. They talk to so many different people. I've just gotten to, you can see my bookmark here. I finished phase 1. The Avengers has just come out. Now we're going on to the movies beyond that. This is a book from just last year. I think it's got a timeline at the front of the book that goes up through like Secret Invasion, but I think maybe Quantumania might be the last thing they really talk about in this book.
I gotcha.
Not entirely sure yet. I'm not done. But there's so many weird little side stories in there. Like Marvel at the time when they were creating the MCU was owned by Toy Biz. The Marvel Entertainment was owned by a toy company. And when Kevin Feige, this producer, is like starting to assemble these films, is starting to put them together, the only office space they can give him is in a kite factory that Toy Biz owns. And he's the only Marvel Entertainment person there. It's people who make kites. And when the weather's windy, they're like, oh, this is kite weather. Let's go out and test the prototypes. And then it's just Kevin Feige alone in a kite factory. Trying to figure out how to make an Iron Man
weekend
movie.
In the kite factory.
They had Terrence Howard as the original Rhodey in Iron Man. And then when they decided to recast that role for Iron Man 2, and they called Don Cheadle, who had auditioned for the role to begin with and didn't end up getting it, but they're circling back around to him. And Iron Man 2 was produced kind of in a hurry to follow up promptly on the heels of the first Iron Man. So they don't have a lot of excess time. So somebody from Marvel calls Don Cheadle and says, we want to offer you the role of Captain James Rhodey Rhodes for this next movie. You have an hour to decide. And Don Cheadle says, I'm at my kid's laser tag birthday right now. And Marvel says, okay, you can have 2 hours. So Don Cheadle is playing laser tag with his wife and like their kids and their kids' friends. And while they are shooting, he's talking to his wife like, I don't know, is this the sort of turn I want to make in my career? Is this the sort of actor I'd like to be? And he realizes like he's jucking, he's running, he's shooting. He's like, I am doing the action thing. So maybe I do really want to do this. Yes. Yeah. I'll call Marvel back. Let me do it. There should be a plaque outside that laser tag arena, wherever it is.
This is where Don Cheadle accepted the role of War Machine. Like they could have their whole marketing scheme on that. Yeah, invite him back for like can you take on War Machine in laser tag and give him some like special devices that do all sorts of stuff. That'd be awesome. That'd be great.
He shoots laser tag beams out of his palm.
Pew, 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 pew. Yeah, that'd be great. It'd be great. No, you had that book on our document of notes here, and it just by the title alone, since I didn't know what it was, looked like something my parents would get me for a Christmas gift or a birthday.
Oh no, yeah, it's not one of those. It's and those books have their benefit. Those like big coffee table DK books that's like a close look at the MCU, and it's just like character biographies and things like that. My roommate has one of those, so she's got all of the canon knowledge, and I have all the extra canon knowledge.
Yeah, my parents, if they see like I don't even know where they get them. If it's like at they're not flying, so it's not at the airport, but it has to be like at the grocery store. You know, they got the like magazine.
Costco. You get this in the book section at Costco.
but they don't always get me books is the thing. Sometimes they'll get me like magazines. It's like, here's Empire magazines, like all Spider-Man edition, and they'll get me that for my birthday. And I love that they think of me with all this MCU stuff, but I'm also just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with a single issue of Empire magazine or like Rolling Stones, like, let's look back at the 20-year history of the MCU. Just like, I thanks, I can look over it, but I don't know what to do with this.
Get a spinner rack. You could fill a spinner rack full of single issues and those things.
I've actually thought about that, especially for here in my little podcast studio, because I do have some like older comics of like first appearance of Poison Ivy. Here's one that was signed by Danny O'Neill, you know, stuff like that, just to be like, here's my fancy ones. Here's my collection.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? Who knows indeed.
You finally went to see Dune 2.
I did go see Dune 2. I saw it in IMAX.
Very nice.
Holy cow. That is a great film. Absolutely loved it. I rewatched the first one a couple days before we went to go see this. Watched it with my girlfriend, who it was her first time watching it. I will say, having so I listened to the audiobook before going into the first one, and I don't know, I feel like even my first time watching that first movie, I was still like kind of confused on like what all the politics were, what's happening here, all of that stuff. But then having rewatched that one for a second time and then going into Dune 2 with all of that, I felt like, oh, I know what's going on now. This is awesome. So yeah, I had a blast with that. That was incredible. Incredible.
Really stunning sequences. I love the part where some of the Harkonnens are in a helicopter and Dave Bautista's making them fly like too fast, or they're flying into a sandstorm and there's all this wind. I forget what it is. But one of the Harkonnen soldiers throws up just pure milk.
Yeah.
That really stuck out to me.
Just this
I'm like, you guys liquid. Are definitely milk folks.
Yeah, that was an incredible movie for sure. Really hoping that he does in fact get to do the third one. I know he has.
Oh, I'm sure he will.
I'm sure he is. Yeah, but I remember at least early on it was like, we'll do these two, and then we'll kind of see about this third like one. Who knows?
The third one is, it's like how there's The Godfather and The Godfather 2, and later they made The Godfather Part 3, but it's more of like a coda to the set pair that is Part 1 and 2. This makes me feel like it'll kind of be like that. This will be Dune coda.
Yeah. Because I think these two were fantastic, but then he's about to go start his holy war. So who knows what'll happen next. Also, you have a movie on your cinema corner thing that I haven't thought about in forever. I read the book of this movie you're about to mention, and then I watched the movie. But I read this in like maybe middle school, like early high school.
That doesn't seem like you. Did somebody make you do this?
No. Believe it or not, I had a higher reading level from a really young age.
No, I don't.
I know you're not being like, Kyle, you can read? Oh my God. So you learn something new every day. Wow. No, but like I read like C.S. Lewis's The Screwtape Letters in like third grade. I had read like the whole Lord of the Rings book in fifth grade, like while everyone else was still on like Hardy Boys and stuff like that. I was here with this big old tome of Tolkien knowledge and stuff. So I used to read a lot more, and that was my time of like, let me read some more adult books and not these like fantasy things. I like mysteries. Who writes mysteries? Oh, John Grisham.
What we are talking about is The Firm, which I remember seeing as like a paperback your parents have.
Yeah.
And I never picked it up. I considered it. When you are in middle school and you're like, what are adult books like? I never got that far.
Pelican Brief.
Right. You are a mystery boy, but this is on its surface seems like more of a legal thriller. And I did not peg you as the kid among all of your sci-fi fascinations to pick up a legal thriller.
Yeah, I mean, I like thrillers as well, but yeah, I don't think I could tell you exactly what happened in the plot of that. It's been so long.
Well, the Firm bad.
Yeah, yeah. The Firm bad, and the book. There you go.
I watched this movie last night. Sidney Pollack's The Firm, starring Tom Cruise, based on the novel by John Grisham. Because I recently watched The Hunt for Red October, and I really liked that. A movie that I was certain was of good quality, but I'm like, that's such a dad movie. I just don't know if that's going to appeal to my sensibilities. I'm sure it's good, but I don't know if I'll really be into it, and I really was into it. I'm going to try more dad movies.
Who wrote that book, The Hunt for Red October?
Oh, that's a Tom Clancy, the guy from the video games.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he was almost a like, maybe after John Grisham I should read some Tom Clancy, because I do like those Splinter Cell games. I do like those Rainbow Six games, right? And it was like, I guess I could read Sum of All Fears. That's also a movie, right? I just never got into all the Tom Clancy stuff. I'm not sure if I'll finish it.
I'm not sure if I'll read all of All Fears, but I'll at least read some of All Fears.
Right, yeah, and I think looking at his work now, I'm like, I think I'm glad that I didn't get into his work. I don't know if politically I line up with what he's doing there, but who knows.
The Firm is a movie where Tom Cruise is a lawyer who goes to work for a firm. And he's like, this firm looks great. And then the FBI comes to him and they're like, your firm is bad, actually. Their main client is the mafia. Soon they will get their hooks into you and they will never let you go. And if you try and leave the firm, they will kill you. So he goes back to
fixer, Michael Clayton to fix things.
He goes back to the firm and he sort of tells them what the FBI told him to sort of gauge their reaction. And they're like, oh, dude, what is this slander? They're always trying to get us. You know, that's not true. We'll look into it. And he's like, they did not behave the way I thought they would behave. I think this stuff is true. Wilford Brimley works for the firm and he is essentially the firm's Michael Clayton. He's the like extra lawyer. He's the guy who probably has a law degree, but is more of like a handler, a security guy,
a fixer. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And so Tom Cruise is stuck in between pressure from the FBI and pressure from the firm to like betray the other side. And Wilford Brimley, picture Wilford Brimley in your mind. His walrus mustache, his straightforward down the middle demeanor, very factual Wilford Brimley. Meditate on the image of Wilford Brimley.
Diabetes.
He is showing Tom Cruise these photos because he's talking about how the firm has enemies who could use things about Tom Cruise against him, while he's really saying, we can use these things against you. Don't betray us, the firm. And Tom Cruise went on a business trip to the Cayman Islands and had a tryst with this woman on the beach. And
I remember that being like Small Kyle. That was one of the sexiest things I had read in a book back then. I was like, whoa, hot stuff.
Leg touching.
Yeah.
Legs and more. Wilford Brimley shows him photos of the sexy night on the beach, and he's describing them as, if you had an enemy, they could show these photos they could show these to your wife. Would you like your wife to see this intimate act, oral and whatnot?
Oral and whatnot. You deviant heathens with your oral and whatnot.
What's the and whatnot? The fact that he specifies oral acts happened. Yeah. I'm not going to specify the rest. It just goes into the bucket of whatnot. Yeah. Just very funny. And again, we can't do it the way Wilford Brimley does it.
Right.
He says it so matter of fact, plain as if he's going to the DMV. It's very funny. I really enjoyed The Firm. It operates more like a heist movie than a legal thriller. They're never in court. There's scenes on the beach. There's an Elvis impersonator. There's like a riverboat chase. There's the haunting giant pyramid that overlooks the city of Memphis. There's lots of weird details in it.
Interesting.
Huh. Fun with The Firm.
The Firm bad.
Firm bad. Movie good. Actual firm within the movie The Firm, bad guys.
There you go. Good stuff. Well, I say we wrap things up right there for our podcast this week.
Yeah. Next time, when we come back here in 2 weeks for the next Captain's Log, this will be our food themed episode, which we are calling the Eat, Vision, and Snack. And our specific challenge for this year is, I've called it the hot dog hullabaloo. You and I have both challenged ourselves to bring a fancy gourmet hot dog dish of our choosing. Yeah. We will construct, design, prepare, and show off some sort of elite hot dog next time.
Absolutely. Will I be in my hot dog costume? Who knows?
Oh, maybe. You better be.
That should be a lot of fun. A new take on our snack attack episode.
We've never cooked before.
Yeah.
The cooking is new.
Yeah, indeed. But that's what we'll be up to next time. So be on the lookout for all of that. But Melissa, where can she's about to take a drink, so I'm going to stall for time.
I'll stop.
Melissa,
where
can the people find you on the internet?
I have profiles places under the username Wilkywit, WILKYWIT. Not up to much posting, but you can find me there and reach out if you'd like to send me a message about the movie Under the Skin or your favorite M&M.
Yeah, indeed. If you guys want to follow me, I am at Kyle Springer. And if you guys would like to stay up to date with all of the stuff that we do here at the Whatnauts, we are at the Whatnauts official on Threads. So please go like, share, and subscribe. You guys know the deal with all of that. If you're watching this on YouTube, go check out more of our videos over there on that side of the screen. That would help us out even more. But yeah, this has been number 268 of the Whatnauts Captain's Log. We will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.